Now, let's talk about what's trending. Instagram's algorithm change. We're going to discuss what's going on and what you can do to boost your content engagement and visibility organically. Over the past couple of months, Instagram users across the world have noticed a significant drop in their post reach and engagement, myself included. Many noticed the change but didn't start talking up about it until recently. Influencers and various public figures began having honest dialogue with their audience about what was going on. They spoke about the low likes, the low comments, and just the lack of visibility of people that they actually follow. They're looking on their timeline, they don't see posts from their family, they don't see posts from their friends, and now the mind is starting to wonder what's going on. Instagram being Instagram has done it again. Yep, another algorithm change. And we're not asking whether or not they changed the algorithm because it's quite obvious that they did. We don't even want to know why they changed it because we don't care. What we want to know is what we can do to organically boost the visibility of our posts. What we want to know is why the posting strategy that was so successful last week and last month is not working now. We have questions and they need answers. There are a couple theories floating around the factors that play regarding the decrease in engagement on Instagram. Now, out of all of the theories out there, I narrowed it down to the top 4. The first theory around the decrease in Instagram engagement is the shadow ban. Now, a shadow ban is when hashtag content does not appear in the Explore pages. So people use hashtags in order to get their content in front of a broader audience. So you'll put like hashtag Black Girl Magic, and anybody who types on that hashtag will stumble across your content. Now, what people are noticing is that when they hashtag content, only their viewers, so only the people who are already following them are able to view that content. They're not reaching any new eyeballs. Instagram allows you to upload up to 30 hashtags in a post. And so now what people have done to kind of be a little bit more efficient is instead of kind of figuring out their hashtags that they're using on the fly, they make hashtag groups because, you know, they're trying to reach the same audience, they consistently post about the same thing, so they're fairly using the same hashtag for all of their posts. And so it kind of comes off to Instagram's algorithm or the bots or whatever that they have moderating the platform as spammy behavior. Like, okay, every time this person posts, they're posting this whole chunk of the same hashtags, and so it kind of flags it as like, maybe something fishy is going on here. Any kind of bot behavior kind of raises a red flag, and so the use of like all of these hashtags that are like consistently being used, the same one over and over, the same group over and over in all of your posts, it's like, okay, is it really you or is it somebody else? Another reason for a shadow ban is when you use a hashtag that is currently being banned from the platform. So I don't know if you remember, like a couple years ago, they had like the hashtag eggplant, emoji that was like a thing, and it wasn't about the fruit or the vegetable. Is it a fruit or is it a vegetable? The hashtag eggplant emoji wasn't about the produce, right? It was about a body part, and Instagram had to, disable the hashtag eggplant emoji. They had to disable the word eggplant. And so if you're using a hashtag that has been flagged as inappropriate, you're gonna be shadow banned. So a great way to kind of come around that is, before you even use your hashtag, to type it into the search and look it up and see if there's any content restrictions, if it's flagged, or if it's been paused, and that you have like that prompt that comes up that says, this hashtag has been flagged for violating community guidelines, like we are restricting use for right now, or something like that. So you want to make sure that you're not using hashtags that are currently banned. Instagram denies the existence of a shadow ban. It's a term that they don't use and they never have, but it's important to note the loophole here. That just because they don't call it a shadow ban doesn't mean that the behavior under that label isn't still happening. The head of Instagram addressed concerns and questions around the shadow ban in 2019, and let me read it to you and you come up with your own takeaway. Head of Instagram, Adam Mosseri, says, shadow banning is not a thing. If someone follows you on Instagram, your photos and videos can show up in their feed if they keep using the feed. being in Explore is not guaranteed for anyone. Sometimes you'll get lucky, sometimes you won't. Now, when answering the question, why don't I see my post under the hashtag? He says, some people don't realize this, but we don't actually show every post with a hashtag under that hashtag. We try to show people the ones that they might be the most interested in. This is to try and keep hashtag pages interesting, but also to avoid spam and abuse. Take from it what you will. The second theory around low user engagement on Instagram is third-party apps. Now, specifically third-party apps that go against Instagram's terms of service, mainly bots. You know, those apps that kind of do mass actions like mass following, mass liking, mass commenting. That kind of spammy behavior kind of raises a red flag. You don't want to use any apps that allow you to follow a bunch of people at one time, or unfollow a bunch of people at one time, or comment on a bunch of people's, just the mass activity, anything that's being done in large groups, you kind of want to refrain from that. But also, a little caveat here is that you want to make sure that you're using third-party apps that are Instagram approved partners. So a lot of people, myself included, and a lot of Instagram managers and stuff out there, you guys are using third-party apps for automation purposes so that you don't have to sit down and post your post in real time. You can schedule and plan ahead for tomorrow, next week, next year, whenever. And so Instagram has very strict guidelines and restrictions around how they want third parties to integrate with their platforms. And so if you're using a third-party app that is outside of their guidelines and they haven't been approved by Instagram, that could be a reason why you are experiencing low user engagement, because Instagram is recognizing that, you know, this is somebody or this is an app that's going against what it wants to allow on the platform, and so we're just kind of gonna suppress your content. And so when looking for third-party automation apps, what you want to do is just take the extra step to go on that third-party app's website. And on that website, if you keep scrolling, down somewhere, you'll be able to see a badge that says Instagram approved partner or Instagram verified partner. Now that is like one of the most legitimate ways that you can make sure that you're using a third-party app that will not negatively influence your user engagement on Instagram. The third theory around low user engagement on Instagram is that Instagram is now a pay-to-play space. And that theory is not really far-fetched, because if we're being honest, what social media platform isn't? Every social platform is trying to make money, and how do they make money? Through ads. So if they decrease your visibility and they decrease your reach, you will then pay to get your content in front of more eyes. It's just simple like that. Now, the fourth and final theory around the decrease of user engagement on Instagram is consistency. Now, all social media platforms favor consistency. One, they want you to stay on the platform, but two, the less frequently you post, the less likely your audience is to see your content. The less likely your audience is to see your content, the less likely they are to engage with it. The less likely they are to engage with it, you know, the cycle repeats. So if you're not posting consistently, Instagram is not going to put your content at the top of people's feeds, because you're not someone that they can rely on to be, you know, consistent in your output. And Instagram kind of prides itself on showing users the accounts of those that they like and that they follow, that they consistently interact with. People can't consistently interact with your content if you're not putting them out, or if you're not putting any out consistently. It's like once a week, once a month, once a year, you know what I'm saying? And if their mindset is, we are going to show people the accounts that they consistently interact with, if your account is not one of them because you're not being consistent, then there goes your answer. Now, although there may be some validity to these theories, not everyone falls into these categories.